So in this example, we want to store and write to the screen the data of 3 students who enrolled for a 4-year course. You'd think that we could simply store the data in a typical 2-dimensional array, where the first dimension has a size of 4 representing the 4 years, and the second dimension has a size of 3 representing the 3 students. But now what if, for example, student 3 dropped out of the course after 1 year of study? As part of the requirement, we want to include this particular student's results in the array, along with the results of the other 2 students. If we used a typical 2-dimensional array, we would be allocating memory space for 3 items of data that we know is not needed. This is because for this student, only 1 item of data exists, i.e. the student's 1 year of study. There are no results pertaining to student 3 for year 2, 3, and 4. Let's also add that student 2 dropped out of the course after 3 years, but again we still want to represent the data for the 3 years that student 2 studied, along with the data pertaining to student 1 and student 3. So student 1 completed all 4 years of the course, and we would like to include student 1's results in the array. If we were to use a typical 2-dimensional array to store the relevant data for the 3 students, 4 spaces would be redundant, because we know we will never have data to populate these spaces. This is because 2 of the students did not complete all 4 years of the course. So the solution to avoid making provisions for redundant data can be to use a jagged array to store the data. This is unlike the definition for a typical 2-dimensional array, where the dimensions are delimited by a comma within one set of opening and closing square brackets. So, for the first year, all 3 students completed the year, so we have 3 elements of data. We can do this by including the data elements within curly brackets. The elements within the curly brackets are delimited by commas. So you can already see how we can achieve creating a jagged array. We are effectively adding an array of 3 elements to the first indexed item of another array. A jagged array is an array of arrays. Now, for the second year, 2 of the students completed the year, so we make provision accordingly for 2 elements of data. And it is the same for the third year. We have 2 data elements. The fourth year, remember student 2 and student 3 did not complete this year. We only have 1 element of data for this year pertaining to student 1. And you can already see the jagged pattern of the data in this array. So let's write generic code in order to sequentially write a jagged array to the console screen. Note that the Boolean expression for the inner for loop references each of the varying dimension lengths. Note the index for the first dimension of the array, representing the study year, is represented in the loop by the x counter variable. With this jagged array, space has not been provisioned for redundant data, as would have been the case if we chose to use a typical 2-dimensional array for this purpose. For the requirements in this example, a jagged array is the optimal solution to store and traverse the data. Please find the details of where you can download the code examples demonstrated in this tutorial below in the description. These details can be found under the GitHub code section. If you feel you have gained value from viewing this tutorial, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It will be greatly appreciated. And please subscribe to support the channel. If you're already subscribed, please smash the bell icon to be notified of future content, which will be coming soon. Please feel free to engage with me in the comments section. Thank you.